There are already someone that liked that video, so someone is there. There's a germ. So try to bring all the guests here. We want all the people there for that stream today. And don't forget to not do the Momo challenge. That's not a good thing. The Momo challenge is something really awful. But we'll speak a little bit about that later. But now, I hope we'll have more people. Today, I'm sure we'll have people today. It's really important. So identify yourself. We have 3 persons. Yes. You sent to me, you give me publicity. Oh, Bird of Prey. Really glad to see you, Bird. You're welcome to the stream. And don't forget to not do the Momo challenge. We'll speak about that. Not only about that, but we'll speak about that because Thomas said that they are a group wanted to do the Momo challenge. Oh, I hope. Okay, so you're friend with someone named Momo, but not Momo the Challenger. Okay, that's different because Momo the Challenger is an evil person. You don't have to be friend with Momo the Challenger. But if this is someone else, like example, there are other like Momo Land. This is a good K-pop band. Momo Land. They have no link with Momo the Challenger. So we have 5 persons. Please identify yourself, please, guys. Want to know who is there, and like you can send invitation to all the good people. LDG Pixels, yes. I think this is your second time, LDG. I'm really glad to see you, LDG. You're welcome here. You can send invitation to everybody. We want everybody there to speak. Cinnabon Bunny. No, it's not Momo time. It can be Momo Land time. It can be Momo the new friends of Bird of Prey, but not Momo the Challenger. We want more information about that. Tammy, here's a little germ. LDG Pixel just fixing a laptop here while having your stream going. So great. I mean, I trust you be with us, LDG Pixels. So where are all the others? We'll speak a little bit about that. I'm reading right now the spirit. I already speak about that spirit. Now we'll speak about especially this one. I have some critic to do. But that's really interesting in the Spirit Archives because you have like historical follow-up. Every tome of the archives they explain a little bit the situation of Will Eisner, the author of the Spirit, where he is at this moment, what he's doing. And this is the last tome where he is in the army. So I will give more details later because we still already have new people coming. We have a 6th person here on the live stream. Identify yourself. Want to know who you are. We want to know who you are. And I'm pretty sure you are people. The Miltagon Man. Oh, I'm here to take the Momo challenge. Alexander live stream. Don't try to stop me. Who will stop you, the Miltagon Man? Because we like you. We don't want to then you being hurt. And we know that you'll being hurt if you do the Momo challenge. The Momo challenge, it's bad. Don't do that. Identify yourself. Look, we have 7 person, 3 person like that live streams. This is a good direction. We go in a good direction. I like it. If we can be 10 people, it will be even better. Only 6. Okay, we lost someone. But don't be afraid to bring all the people together. But 6 persons is already good stuff. It's already good stuff. This is better than last time. Last time there was really German and only me, and we spoke. It was not bad, but what we want right now, because there was like Doomcock at the same time. I don't understand why. people decide to go to Doomcock instead of me. So, but what to do? Momo has a powerful shirt. What? Momo shirt? I mean, Momo shirt. I mean, Silaban, you need to explain to me what is a Momo shirt. I have my T-shirt here. Look, it's a Jim Cornette. This is one of the sponsor of the Jim Cornette. This is Stephen P. New, the advocate, the lawyer. He sends T-shirts for free to people. I received 2 free T-shirts from Stephen P. New. The Multigun Man said, "Thank you, Alexandre. I like you too. I won't take the Momo challenge. Momo challenge will contaminate your live stream, and I will do that because you are a good guy." So how are you? I'm fine. I'm fine, but I'm a little bit disappointed by what happened to the job because, in our union, you are unionized, and I was on the list of available people. I was the 80th older, but came back one of the employee at work that was older than me, so I won nint. I was the 90th on the list, and obviously, so I lost all my hours of work. But we'll see what is going on because, like, the government created some programs to help business and help people. So we'll see if I will stay at home getting money, or if they will open new hours of work, and if I will be able to go work again. So I prefer to go work. It's more interesting to go work and receive and work my money. So Senaban Bani, Asian Muslim Momo born in the USSR is the best choice. Okay, listen. I don't know if they are Asian Muslim Momo. Okay, but what is the best choice is Asian Muslim wife born in USSR. But an Asian Muslim Momo born in USSR, never heard of that. The Multigun Man, how it's going, Bird? Okay, you speak with Bird, and Bird going well. So everybody's so the Multigun, that's bad luck. I hope you are able to go back to work. So I hope too, but we need to do what happened there. And what is a little bit disappointed that this is the majority of the people that still work are people receiving money from phones of other jobs or pension of other jobs, or they are people over 65 years old, so they receive pension for the government. And in my case, I receive nothing. So, but they are the special app because this is linked to COVID-19. So we'll see. I'm working on that. I will receive a tax return only of $200. Generally, my tax return is higher than that, but last year I worked a lot, so I'm lucky to not pay taxes and receive a return. Grizzly Jeremy, hopefully you're back to work soon. I hope. I mean, at some point, people they said, "Oh, I will be so glad to stay at home and don't go to work." But when you don't go to work for a long time, you begin to miss to be active and do something. We are 7 people. And the 7th, he didn't identify himself. We want to know who he is. So Berto Perez said, in the USA you get 1,200. Yes, it's average. It's like if I receive 1,500 American dollars by a month. So here we've got the equivalent of 1,500 Canadian dollars in the USA. But here I will receive the equivalent of maybe like 1,600 American dollars a month if I qualified, and in that situation actually I'm qualifying. So tell them you are identified as a senior citizen, but this is not because they are old that they receive money. They still at work. This is just because they have been hired before me. This is all a question of chronology. Longer you are in the company, more you have priority. That's the way a union is working. So I was lucky until that the guy came back, because he was in Morocco, and he have been when he came back, he was in quarantine for 2 weeks. So he have been tested negative for COVID-19, and his quarantine's finished, so he came back to work. But again, he's working in a place that he doesn't like. We are in a situation where if you take like a post, something, a place, specific place, and you accept that place to work there, uh, you know, you take the place and the number of hours there. We have like a whole lady. She want only to work like 20 hours a week, but she's just over me. She is the 80th, so she got a place where she need to work 35 hours a week, and she's working that 35 hours a week, even if she want to work something like 10 or 15 hours lesser. So the best way, I said, we speak together is maybe call sick, and I will be able to replace you, but that's not so easy. The military gunman said, I currently work in a hospital until my regular job gets busy again. I'm usually an electrician. There has been a few coronavirus people in there so far. Scary stuff. Yes, the question, you need to be prudent and follow the instruction and have the proper protection. I have one of my friends is working, and he wash the hospitals, like he's part of the cleaning people, and he does it for years, so he's not new in that case. He have all the stuff of protection, and he's always also cleaning the morgue, so it's not something so pleasant. We have 8 people. If you are watching the stream, identify yourself. We want to know who is there. Cinnamon Bunny, I'm sorry I wasn't listening. Oh, thank you, Cinnamon. It's really thank you very much to not listen. We'll start. I mean, we have 12 minutes, so we can speak a little bit about what I have today. What years is it? So, I'm reading the Spirit. I spoke about the Spirit in the past. I will maybe repeat myself a little bit to introduce the Spirit for the new people, because we have some people maybe they didn't hear about the Spirit. So, Will Eisner in 1940 created the character named the Spirit. This is the character you see here. Maybe I will show you another book. It will be easier to recognize. So that's the Spirit. The Spirit, like, is a guy. The Spirit, like, in fact, was a criminologist, and he finally, when he attacked, because he was helping the commissioner Dolan, and when he attacked Dr. Cobra, who was a mad scientist that had created some kind of new gas, he buried the gas, and he was think dead. So they buried him, but not under the ground. They buried him like a kind of, I said, of crypt. And he woke up, and finally to stay officially dead, but to fight crimes. So this is a little bit stuck of. This is a characters in the same vein that like the Green Hornet or Dick Tracy, but I mean he has his own specificity. The Spirit Archives are 26 tomes. I mean, covering mainly 1940 to 1952, and he was in the newspaper. Are you going to sleep, Bear Prey? So, I mean, sad, but I understand you. You need to sleep. Take care of you, and take care of your health. Continue to be prudent, and don't do the Momo challenge. Dimit's Gun, that's good, Alexander. I like the topic, the comic book topic, and I enjoy saying your collection. So great, Dimit's Gun, man. So you can continue to bring people to the streams. We speak about it. So they are 26 tome covering mainly 1940 to 1952, because as I said in the past, it was in the newspaper. It was a comic of 12 pages. It was in the newspaper in syndication at the time. And of course, after that, we got other stuff in the Spirit, but it was not like on a weekly basis like in the time. So DC published stuff, Kitchen Publishing. It was Kitchen Sink, what name published stuff. Dark Horse published some stuff. Dynamite. So, but now I'm to 11 tomes. And you know what happened with Will Eisner? He wasn't a really convinced anti-fascist, and when the war started in Europe before Pearl Harbor, he went to as a volunteer, and he said, "I mean, if the war started in the United States and involved in the war, I want to participate. I wanted to be in the army." And when after Pearl Harbor, I've been recruited by the army, and mainly what he did as a job, it was to write manuals. So he was doing comics to explain to people how to take care of the materials. To clean their gun, to work properly in the mechanics of the trucks and all that stuff. It was like the I would say the slogan was "Don't be a dope." So it means don't be an idiot. Take care of your material. If not, it will broke and you'll not be able to use it. I can show you maybe one of that kind of comics here in the volume 19. That's the volume 19, because the spirit continue even without Will Eisner, but he continued without Will Eisner, but he still was, as I can say, he was made by ghostwriter. So not ghost writers, ghost writers. So this one, there are not so much of it. That's the volume 10. Maybe it would be better. So we have. So as you can see, like here, that's the kind of this guy's of draw to bring people to take care of the material. But this is Firepower, the journals. Wait a minute. So yes, the Firepower, that was one of the project of Will Eisner during the war. So you can see. That's the famous character like cover art for Army Mothers. So that's the character that I named in the army that he was using. That's the character that was an idiot that he was never to cleaning his stuff, and you see as the Jeep is broke there in the mud. So it was what Will Eisner did at this time. And I mean, the ghostwriters did a good job because there was some people close and able that work often with Will Eisner in the time. But unfortunately, that tome is the last one about when Eisner wins the war, and all the introduction are really interesting. As I said, historical introduction here. You have all that stuff you speak here. And this one is signed by Michael T. Gilbert in March 2003, and he explained that the quality at the end of the war was really lower and lower, and that's a fact. I mean, I just start to read it. First, the draw is really different. It's looking like in the old publicity. If I can compare with the draw that was promoted by Eisner at the time, we'll take the tome number 5. See, the character is a little bit more cartoony, or a little bit more alive. You can see I will take one that is maybe more obvious because this is small square. See, all the woman there is drawn. It's a little bit like the characters look a little bit more cartoonish, but a little bit more alive. As you can see, it's a little closer there. We see some kind of movement, something. The characters as a soul. If you look at their ear, it's like if they try to be too much realistic. And the characters lose a little bit their soul. They are like the spirit look too much serious. At some point, close to be some kind of, I don't know, robots. It was the kind of way they were drawing the publicity, because it was in the 40 more before the wars, but during the wars too, a lot of publicity were drawn. And this is the way they start to draw. So you see the difference between that cover. This is not so imaginative, or other cover I can show to you here. maybe this one, okay, because they are plastic on it. You see, oh, that's okay, like that. So you see, that's more imaginative. So at this time, that's a cover from the 1941. At this time, this is 4 years after the war. As Will Eisner as the is bring back on the job for several years. But this is not only but I mean the stories are really really flat. Um, when you see, I have like the first story here. You have kind of guy here. You see here, you have a fighting technique special about he's fighting with his elbow, and this is why they name it elbow. So that's dumb. Isn't that stuff? That's kind of stuff that Will Eisner wrote. I mean, there was like more imaginative. The characters was a little bit more like special. There was humors. In that case, there are no really humor there. There are not so much any kind of, if I can say, kind of jokes or anything. So here you have our friend Bunny White, and the punchline is really like flat. It's kind of, the story is that the each year's, for a reason we don't know. I mean, the police need to retract all his money from the bank and like deposit it in a new bank. And at the end of the story, like, because there are a gang tried to stole it and they are close to do it, and the spirit succeed just by changing the bags to force the gang to discover bricks inside. It's ridiculous. That's not a good story at all. And at the end of the day, the joke is that when Commissar Dolan bring the money, he deposited it in the bank and he said, "Oh, now the money is saved for until the next year." So it's even not a joke. So that's and in the spirit, like the punchline in the spirit, Will Eisner is always very important. He's really strong on that aspect, and I think that. I will finish it because I want to read all the spirit. But I'm really glad that at the volume 12 we'll get against Will Eisner. I have a small problem. I will be forced to stop at level 13 and start to read something else because. That's funny because I never thought that there was a mini linguistic version of the spirit, and it was the case. So when I went I was missing two of the hardest volume to find from the series. They are the 14 and the 16. And when I went on eBay, I wanted to buy it. You have hardcover books. Yes, you spoke to me about it a month ago, man. And when I got this one, that's a 14, I bought that, but unfortunately, the description of the description about the project was in German, but I never imagined that book itself is in German. So I got stuff, and you can say this is not volume 14, this is band 14. So now I'm stuck with 2 volumes of my archives in German. Obviously, I can't read them, and I have absolutely no interest in my stuff here. So I will try to find again and the 2 volumes in English. And I don't know how I will succeed to sell. One of my friends is buying everything. Each time I have something in double or something I don't need, I propose him to buy it. It's a little bit. I like that, but it's relative a little bit. As a little bit stretch. So I will show you my other hat. That's not the kind, Hooters Moscow. We'll put that. Will be comfortable. So it was really, as I said, he's buying all my stuff when I have doubles, but I'm pretty sure he will not buy like book in German. So when I will finish the volume 13, I think I will start to read that exactly in the back and the down there, the Judge Dredd archives. I mean, that in fact is named the complete file case. Yes, the complete case files. No, I will finish to say it properly. This is the Judge Dredd. We have 34 volume plus like the how it's named, like the out of series. So they are 4 volume again. So I'm waiting for the Judge and Descent number 3 and 5. I've already want number 1 and 4, and the second unfortunately is unfoundable for now. We'll try to found it. Other stuff. I mean, I present to you last time all my Star Trek's comics. So I will take it back for a second. I put it on the wall, and I want just to say that confirm that I read this one of Star Trek Voyager with 7 of 9 false color. It was pretty good. You can find it on eBay for not so much expensive. This is made by Wallstorm. As Resolute Germ last time said to us, it was like a division of DC. I don't know if they were doing something else, Star Trek, in what they were specialized, but it was a branch of DC, and they made Star Trek comics. And I read that one is great. Obviously, the center of the attention in that is 7 of 9. I mean, I will not give any spoilers, but what happens when Voyager is like in the Borg space? I think they are in the Borg space. They find like a Borg cube that has been destroyed, mixed with some other part of alien's ship, and they don't know exactly what happens. And some a little bit some minutes later, when they are searching what it is, because it's confirmed that they have Borg materials in it, they finally start to be beamed by a very big ship that is looked to be all of Borg and all of alien technology, and obviously they want to be freed from the beam. So the fact that this is part Borg technology, they send 7 of 9 with Chakotay, and this is a hard name to say, Chakotay, and Tuvok. So they went in the big spaceship that's really bigger than Voyager. And after that, I will not spoil the rest. But this is really interesting. I will bring back. I put it on over my bed because obviously, if I can have 7 of 9 in my bed, I will get 7 of 9 over my bed. So it will be at least will not be a bit better than nothing. So that's I'm still I sold to my friends my doubles of the Green Hornets made by Now Comics, and my double of it's made by IDW of Star Trek Voyager. Like, this is the story in the mirrors, and I saw in some Star Trek CCG card. I sold that to him. It was yesterday morning. You got give me for that 60 Canadian dollars, because I bought close to all what have been published. But this will tell you, it's ridiculous. Not like that's better. I bought because what closed at everything that had been published by Now Comics at the end of the 80s and beginning of the 90s about the Green Hornet. And that's really interesting because I mean, from the Green Hornets, I have this one. Nobody is following. So that's really interesting. If you like the Green Hornet and you want to see the original stuff, here Dynamite's published what is the equivalent of Vampirial Archives, but for the Green Hornet. But that's just the beginning. I will show you what is Vampirial Archives. I have that. So So the Imperial Archives is 15 tome. I have only 5 for now. I will buy the rest later. This is 15 tome of everything that have been done by Warren Comics from Vampirella from 1969 to 1982. And as you say, this is really old. This is a really old cover. That cover is the first one that I've been on Vampirella. She was amazing because, yeah, as you can see, this is a good one. I paid that. Wow, there's still. What's that? I didn't remove that. So about that 6 months ago, and I didn't probably remove that shit. So as you can see, this is a lot. It's a big one. I paid that 64 Vampirella. Remember, LDG Pixel. The Vampirella is amazing, and yes. So Dynamite's republish all that stuff. 15 tone. This is this obviously is the first tome, and this is big stuff. There are a lot of comics inside, and you can have all what have been done by Warren Comics from 1969 to 1982 by buying the 15 tomes on Vampire. I have only 5 of them. It was not my priority to buy. My priority was Conan the Barbarian and Judge Dredd. But when I found some good deals about it. So for the Green Hornet, this is close to be the same. But they begin to do it, and this is the 6th 4 comics in the story of the Green Hornet. As you can see, the Hornet here has his original mask in live action. Republics did 2 series of movie, and instead to have like the classic, like the classic mask, a little bit like Zorro example, he had like the full face here. I prefer the full face for the Green Hornet by far. So this is remaster. What is interesting, when you take Vampirella and the other side, this is all comics in black and white. What a good Ours for one of these spirit archives. What a good price. Let's speak about price, Ursula Germ. Yes? Just say to me if you ask for the price. The price for the spirit archives, it depends on the volumes really much because as you see, I was able to have like a deal for the first volume from a 1 to 10 example, or the last volume around for the after 20. This is the kind of volume you can find several volumes. I've been able to buy 8 volumes for $120. So it was not expensive. But on the other day, if you want to buy the 14 or the 16, you can go to $80 US each, 90 maybe $100 US each. So this is really weird, that situation where depending of the volume in the collection, you'll pay different price. I don't know why. So it's all a question to be on eBay. I mean, you can, for the price of the number 14, you can have 5 of the others that are easier to find. They're much easier to find and the less expensive. If you want to try, it's obviously the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you want to see how it's look a little bit before to buy all the stuff, if you want to do kind of try out, you can go on eBay and just find a little deal when you find one of the 1 to 5 first volumes. But anyway, I mean, seriously, for the spirit, for now, I paid more money for my 11th volume, and I had more fun to read the 1 to 5 example than the 11th. But because Will Eisner, when he go to war, after more the war advance, more the ghost writers are there, less has become interesting. So obviously, if you want to have the better quality of what I read for now, I mean, this is what you'll pay the less. So you can, it's depending if you want all of them. So Cinnamon Bunny, it sounds expensive, but the Momo challenge is free. Yes, the Momo challenge, don't pay the price in money, you pay the price in your quality of life after that you hurt yourself and that you destroy your health by accepting the challenge from Momo, the challenger. So they are a price to pay. This is free to do it, but when you've done it, after that, you pay a big price. And this isn't a price that you want to pay, Cinnabon Bunny. So please don't do the Momo challenge because even if it looks free, at the end of the day, you pay a really, really inexpensive price. I want that you keep a good quality of life, so don't do the Momo challenge. So, if we speak about the Green Hornet, it's not named the Green Hornet Archives, but it's Golden Age Remaster. And what I was saying that Vampire Archives, everything is in black and white because the comics from Vampire was in black and white. But this is a remaster version of and collect for the first time. So Dynamite did a good job to reunite all that old comics that are from the Golden Age. We speak about comics from the 40s. So they republished comics from the 40s. And I mean, this is simple stories. And in fact, this is stories from the radio program they took back and they made in comics. But this is pleasant. So Dynamite is really strong about that. But for the Green Hornet, as I said, what Result Jam said, Momo doesn't charge money. Momo charge in souls. It's hard to describe it better than you did, Result Germ. I mean, this is not Momo the challenge. You don't want money. He want to hurt you bad. This is what he wants. This is what he wants. So so except the Golden Age stuff. For the Green Hornets right now, I have more Dynamite stuff. But in Dynamite, you have good stuff like as it everybody knows Kevin Smith, the guy from Jen Silent Bob. So he did a lot of comics also. And Kevin Smith deal some great, amazing Green Hornet comics. I mean, the stories are really fine. You should like it. And the heart, I mean, Dynamite have pretty good artists to do it when it's time to draw. It's look amazing. Can stay like the fighting stuff here. Look at the fight. That's the Green Hornet. I mean, a lot of people think this is boring, Green Hornet. Look at that. That fight scene is amazing. So, but they are a difference. That's really like the Green Hornet from Dynamites. This is really 2000. This is 21st century stuff, and now comics. You are at the end of the 80s and the beginning of the 90s. But what is interesting from that to one, as I said, they have something in common. Dynamite stuff and now comic stuff. They are something that Dynamite took from now. This is a question of multi-generational Green Hornet. It's mean that because what happens with the Green Hornet is each time they did the Green Hornet, they did him like in the in the time, so in the actual time. Is there a red Hornet? Not as I know. But if you look in the movie, like the crappy movie they did some years ago, they are like kind of, I don't know, Polish or Russian. They don't say the bad guy, and the bad guy he's so he's present people saying he is boring. He need to rebrand, and after that he become like the red something. But there are no red Hornet. And the Green Hornet is the only Hornet. That's the only Hornet. There are no other Hornet. No other Hornet. So, okay. 40 minutes of that. This is the end of the boat. So, Reservoir Jerome said, there are lanterns, not hornets. Yes. Yes. I mean, maybe somebody mixed up the hornets and the lanterns, because between the hornet and the lantern, this is really close. Some hornets and lanterns are really close to each other. I don't know close from what. Maybe one flight around the other. This is the reason why they are close, but they obviously are not similar. Being close can be look as similar, but sometimes this is not the case, as you can say. That's for the people. I mean, here, because when we are doing that kind of broadcast, as you can see, this is Hooters Moscow, Okay, the best one. Lanterns. Okay, the lantern and the hornet. First, it will be in between the green, because the hornet has only one color. This is the green, and there are only one hornet. But I mean, in separate time, because there are many generations of green hornet. The first one in the 30s. After that, you have the other wars in the 60s, 70s, and after that, you have another generation in the 21st century. And this is all Reed. This is Britt Reed Jr., and all that stuff. And by the way, the Green Hornet is the little nephew of the Lone Ranger. That's important. John Reed had a nephew named Dan Reed, and Dan Reed is the father of Britt Reed, the Green Hornet. And Dan Reed, we can see Dan Reed in the old TV show of the Green Hornet, like a little bit like in the last 2 seasons. He's there. He's a young guy. I also have a white stallion, and he is I don't know, maybe in 15 episodes. And you can see also Dan Reed in the cartoon. One time we see him in the cartoon, like he's a journalist. He's already a journalist, because Dan Reed will become the owner of the Daily Sentinel, and Britt Reed will receive it in inheritance. So that's the way. This is why Britt Reed become the owner of the Daily Sentinels, and the redactor in chief is because he received it in inheritance from Dan Reed that was working there. Who found it? It's not so clear. And we see Dan Reed also in the Lone Ranger movie from Disney that had been made 2013, I think, as I remember. And he is the little boy that one time throw some fruit with a slingshot. So that's with Dan Reed. But they are a link. So one is the direct descendant of the other. So Britt Reed, the Green Hornet, and the Lone Ranger are a link. That's really interesting. Yes, it was more focused on Tonto. And it was really weird. They tried to first. I don't like so much the Tonto from Johnny Depp, because it looked too weird. I mean, I prefer Tonto when he look more like a native, a real one. But is not the case in the original one on TV. When on TV it didn't look like a native too. I mean, it was like a parody. But if you look in the comics here, Tonto is pretty cool. We have a comics Lone Ranger about Tonto. Is it this one? No. Is it this one? No. Wait a minute. The Lone Ranger that's the number 8. So I need the number 7, as I think. I'm pretty sure this is the number 7. Oh, that's not wrong. I'm wrong. Number 6. Number 6. Yes. So if you see here Tonto, it doesn't look like a weirdo. That comic from Dynamite, uh, number volume 6. This is the story of Tonto, in fact. Uh, the Lone Ranger, now a major motion picture. You can see here, back, Tonto is there. So he's a badass in there. And in the comic from Dynamite, Tonto is is really like you don't want to be on his path, seriously. So that's like an introduction to Tonto uh, before that he joined, then he saved John Reed, what John Reed who become the Lone Ranger. So the number 6, trade paperback, Dynamite, number 6 of the Lone Ranger. Says the story, Tonto, the Tonto story. But Tonto is a character with a lot of potential. I like very much Tonto, but when he's portrayed ridiculously, this is really ridiculous. Because you know that in the United States, when someone try to do ridiculous Native American, it can go far. And I think that Johnny Depp, no, he didn't play that bad, and they are good time when Tonto in that movie is really cool, but the other time when it's like he's feeding his crow or something like that, it's too much. So Cinnabon Bunny is leaving because you want to buy some Tide Pods. I hope this is because you want to wash your clothes. Because if you want to wash your hands, and you need to wash your hands, Cinnabon Bunny, this is really important to wash your hands. Wash your hands. This is not with Tide Pod. And if you want to put that in your mouth, don't do that. This is not bad as the Momo challenge, but this is close to it. Really close to it. So guys, I spoke a lot, 47 minutes. I think this is enough for tonight. We'll speak again. I was really glad to see you, all of you. I had to say that about the spirit, about false color. I will read other Star Trek Voyager comic, and I will say to you what I'm thinking about it. And now I have more time to read comics, but forced to admit, the situation with all that instability, it's a little bit harder for me to read. So when I'm working, I'm busy, so I'm not reading as much as I want. Now that I don't work at all, it's harder for me to read because I have some stress. But the moment when I will be sure that I have the money I need, this is by support of a support program, or if this is because I'm starting to work again, I will be glad. And I'm forced to admit that I'm still a little bit worried about my girlfriend in Moscow, but she looks to go well now. She's not, she was sick, but I think it was not finally COVID-19 because she recovered really fast. Now she's working to the grocery, and I have news from her on a daily basis. She looked really more happy that in the last week. She have less stress. She has. She lived in that kind of the kind of instability we all have right now. This is the instability when what she lived for. Since the day that her ex-boyfriend died, because he have been pushed over from a fourth floor, and she was pregnant of him. And the little girl that she has is born without any fathers, because he was already dead even before that she born. So for my girlfriend, tough. It has been a tough decade, but So she's nervous and she don't like instability. But right now things are looks to be better. She's not as sick. She's not sick for now. She have fine stability to work, and obviously communication is going well between her and me. So I'm really glad about it. So have a good night. We'll speak again. I will wait to have read more comics books to do another live stream because I want to have something about who to speak. I mean, it's true. I mean, I need to do public services by explaining to you that you need to wash your hands and you need to not do the Momo challenge, but will not speak only about that. Need to speak also about pleasant stuff, not only the danger, not only the threat of Momo, the challengers, and all that stuff. So have a good night. I was glad to speak with you. I will speak again. Don't forget, bring people to subscribe, like people liking comics, bring them to subscribe to the channel. We'll speak more and more. Now we have always a good 7, 8 people when it's work, so it's glad we have discussion, but more people we have better would be. Okay, have a good night.